Okay, so picture this. 1947. A British lawyer lands in India for the very first time in his life. Never been there. Doesn't know the language. Doesn't know the land. They handed him a pen and said, "You've got 5 weeks to draw the border that splits this whole country in two." 5 weeks. That's less time than most people take to plan a vacation. And here's the part that'll mess with your head. When he finished, he didn't stick around. He burned his notes, refused his paycheck, and left the country forever. A decision made by a guy who probably couldn't have found Punjab on a map 3 months earlier, and it ended up displacing almost 15 million people, and it's still causing wars today. So how does something this reckless become one of the most consequential borders on Earth? Stick with me. By the end, you'll know something about India, Pakistan, and Kashmir that most documentaries skip. Let's back up. For almost 350 years, Britain ran India, the so-called jewel in the crown of their empire. But by 1947, Britain was flat broke from World War II, and honestly, they just wanted out, fast. The last British viceroy, Lord Mountbatten, was told he had until June 1948. Instead, he looked at the calendar and basically said, "Nah, let's do this in 10 months. You had the Indian National Congress, Nehru, Gandhi, wanting one united India, and Muhammad Ali Jinnah's Muslim League, arguing Muslims deserved their own separate nation. Tensions had already boiled over. August 1946, Direct Action Day in Calcutta exploded into riots that killed thousands in days. June 3, 1947, the Mountbatten Plan split India along religious lines. Sounds simple, right? Except Punjab and Bengal were almost perfectly mixed. Quick question. If you had to split your own hometown in half based on religion, with neighbors on both sides, how do you even start? Drop your answer below. That impossible job landed on one man, Sir Cyril Radcliffe, respected British barrister, never been to India, never dealt with South Asian geography or land disputes in his life. The British picked him because he was neutral, no bias, no favorites. Sounds good on paper. In practice, it meant zero on-the-ground knowledge of what those lines actually meant. He landed July 8, 1947, 5 weeks to divide 450,000 square kilometers, holding 88 million people. He worked mostly off old, outdated census data. No time to consider trade routes, water systems, family land, or religious sites. Just majority religion, district by district. Radcliffe finished his maps between August 9th and 14th, 1947. India became independent August 15th. Pakistan, August 14th. But the actual border wasn't announced until August 17th, 2 full days later. In Bengal, Muslim-majority districts put up Pakistani flags on Independence Day, only to learn days later they'd been placed in India. Roughly 14 million people fled their homes, the largest mass migration in human history, almost overnight. Trains packed with refugees crossed the new border, and horrifyingly, some arrived with every single passenger already dead. Estimates vary wildly, anywhere from 200,000 up to 2 million people killed, with most historians landing around 1 million. Here's the twist that changed everything. Radcliffe's line gave Muslim-majority Gurdaspur to India instead of Pakistan. Why does that matter? Because Gurdaspur was the only land route connecting India to Kashmir. Kashmir was ruled by a Hindu Maharaja, Hari Singh, over a Muslim-majority population. He hesitated, refusing to join either country. In October 1947, armed tribesmen invaded from Pakistan, and Kashmir began to fall. In a panic, the Maharaja signed the Instrument of Accession on October 26, 1947, joining India in exchange for military help. That single moment triggered the First Indo-Pakistani War. Kashmir's been a flashpoint through wars in 1947, 1965, and Kargil in 1999. Radcliffe left India immediately, burned his notes, refused his fee, and spent the rest of his life avoiding the subject in public. So, the border defining two nuclear-armed nations of over 1.6 billion people today wasn't centuries of careful diplomacy. It was a 5-week rush job, finalized in a hotel room. If Britain had taken one more year to do this properly, do you think partition still happens the same way, or does history look completely different? If this blew your mind even a little, share it with someone who thinks they already know this story, because trust me, most people don't know the Radcliffe part.